What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video at JDH Aquatics where we talk about anything aquariums related. As you guys know from the title, we are going to be going over a couple of additions to the aquariums, which are fish, and we did also get a few inverts for the aquariums as well, so let's go over it. And for that one person that commented that the mirror facing the bed was bad luck or bad juju, we did end up moving the mirror, so now it's over there. In replacement of the mirror, we do have my Monstera that I've had for probably about a year now, and it was about half the size, but that fills out this corner real nice. Maybe we can get like a hanging plant that would meet it towards like the middle here, but who knows. Going over to the 30-gallon as the first edition, let's jump into it. As you guys might be able to see swimming around here in the middle of the tank is my new fire goby, or firefish goby. I think it's called a fire goby, but really pretty fish. This is a very common community marine fish. It's got that red tail and it kind of fades into that really nice purple, white, grayish color. And he's got a really nice yellow face and a blue eye. And that huge dorsal fin that's about half the size of his body, but really pretty fish. I got this at a local fish store in Escondido, California, called the Love Aquarium. So shout out to Doug. I also got my clownfish, which we'll go over in a second. I wouldn't say this fish is shy because it does come out when the lights are on, but towards dusk time and of course when the lights are off, you do not see this fish. So it's shy in that sense, but it's not skittish. If we get up and walk towards the fish, you know, he comes out and he's not shy. He comes and says hello. We will feed him here in a second, but this is kind of the most I've actually seen him out since I've had him. And I've had him for about 3 days now. And he really likes to hide behind these star polyps over here, but seems to be warming up in the tank. He's about 2.5, maybe 3 inches, so definitely enough space in this tank, and we are planning on getting him a few friends. I don't know exactly what I want to put in here in addition to him. I've still thought about getting a school of green chromis. I just think a school of maybe 5 to 7 of them would look really pretty in here. But I also do maybe want to get a couple of bang eye cardinals or another couple of gobies. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but green chromis is kind of high on the list just because they are cheaper and we can pack a few in here. As well as all of the other tanks, we did put in a slight cleanup cruise. So we did, I think, 10 nicest snails in here. So they're somewhere in the sand bed and climbing around the rocks. And we added, I think, 4 or 5 snails in the 6-gallon and an additional 8 or 9 in the 20-gallon. So this guy's been really pretty and fun to watch swim around. I don't have a lot of red in my tanks, so having the addition of that color really makes it pop against all the green and brown corals. But yeah, I really am happy with this purchase. I'm happy that he's thriving and swimming around, and we'll feed him here shortly. Now for the 6-gallon, we do want to get a couple more inverts for this tank. However, we did add, like I said, about 4 or 5 nicest snails in here, and they're somewhere in there. Let's try to find a couple of them. So we've got one that's buried in the sand bed there, and that's kind of what they do, is dig into the sand, and they have this little kind of antenna that sticks up out of the sand. I'll try to find one and see if I can show you what it looks like, but they usually hide in the sand. We've got another one that's kind of against the rock there. The crushed coral does make it a little bit more difficult for them to hide into it because it's just more coarse and not as fine as some other sand beds, but oh, there we go. So right here, you guys can kind of see, let me get it to focus here. So it's gonna be a little hard to see, but those little antenna things that are sticking up, those are part of the nicest snails, and they kind of use that to sense for food and other stuff that's in the water. We will be putting in a cleaner shrimp or a pair of cleaner shrimp into this tank. I was thinking about doing some flower or rock flower nems into this aquarium, and we might still do that, but I think if we do that, we are going to opt out of the shrimp because I'm scared that they're gonna get caught in the anemones if they're climbing around the rocks. So I think it's one or the other. And I've kind of decided to go with the shrimp. I think it'll be a little bit more movement in the aquarium, and they'll also act as part of the cleanup crew as well. And last but certainly not least, moving on to kind of the main attraction to the video, is my pair of clownfish that I recently picked up for the 20-gallon. So as you guys know, this is supposed to be a softy dominated, but we do want to put some anemones in here, some rose bubble tips. And with that, I did want a pair of clownfish to have that symbiotic relationship with the anemones. So we're giving this tank to the clownfish. There's not going to be any other fish in here, aside from maybe a goby or some sort of blenny, but I believe we're just going to be doing the clownfish in this tank. We did add a few nicest snails in here as well. You can see one on the sand bed there, kind of digging around. A little bit better shot of that antenna I was talking about. But these are the clowns we got for the 20-gallon. So from what the store said, these are called nearly naked black ice clownfish. I thought they were a mist bar of some sort because they do have a bar that doesn't fully connect. Still do have a little bit of orange on them, and they do have one stripe, but this guy on the left, the female actually, a little bit bigger one, she kind of has that disconnect in that single bar on her head, whereas the male has that full solid bar across, kind of looks like a headband. But yeah, these guys are really pretty. The black ice has that faded tail of black, and these are honestly kind of the nicest clownfish that I've had. Not saying that any other clownfish I have are not as important, but these are probably they're definitely the most expensive clownfish that I've bought, and just designer wise, I think they're the most unique that I've had. These guys have a lot of personality as well. They swim back and forth constantly throughout the day, up and down the tank. There's not really one part of the aquarium that they don't swim around in, but they do stick together 24/7. It's pretty rare to see them separated, but we're gonna go ahead and throw some food in there. They're not juveniles, but they're also not the biggest clownfish. The female, I wanna say, is about 2.5 inches, and the male is about maybe 2 inches. So we are gonna try to beef them up a little bit and feed them a variety of foods, but I'm really excited to see these things host in the anemones and just get a little bit bigger, you know? I also did get these clownfish from the Love Aquarium in Escondido, California, same as the Fire Goby over there. So if you guys wanna go check them out, they are in Southern California. They've got a wide range of fish, both freshwater and saltwater, but really awesome dude over there, Doug, and really, really healthy fish. So although I do have mysis and other frozen foods, just for the video right now, we're gonna feed them some omega-1 dry food. So let's go ahead and start with the Fire Goby and see if he's hungry. I'm also really excited now that all of the, or at least 2 out of the 3 tanks have lids on them, so that we're able to keep all these fish and ensure that they're inside of the tanks at all times and not gonna be jumping out or anything crazy. But I think over time too, the fish will get a little bit more comfortable with where they're at, and as well as getting comfortable with me feeding them. The clownfish are a little bit less shy than the Fire Goby in terms of going for the food, but as you can see, the clownfish just instantly go for it. These things are pretty hungry. I'm gonna try to feed the fish about once a day at least. I used to feed them every other day, so I'm gonna try to give them some sort of food at least once a day, and then some of the more nutritionally dense food, the frozen food, every couple of days. So I also am dosing a 2-part alkalinity and calcium supplement. So I'm doing that about every 3 to 4 days, so about twice a week. I'll do it in each of the tanks, and it seems to make all the softies happy, dosing that alkalinity, and then of course adding the fish in there and upping the phosphates, a little bit of the nitrates, will make these softies happy as well. Another cool thing to see, since we did just throw in some food, is all of the snails kind of coming out of the woodworks after smelling the food. There's a really big nicest snail under the cinularia there, but these 2 up front you can see are coming out. We also do have some bristleworms, which I don't really like, but I guess they're slightly beneficial for the tank. But we tried to get a lot of them out when we did the move, but it seems like, you know, a few made their way in here. But we got some more snails in the back there. But yeah, looks like everything's happy and healthy and definitely getting fed. So that is going to be the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was actually the first time I've bought fish in probably close to a year of going in the store and actually buying a new thing for the tank. So we've got a lot of additions coming up. We got cleaner shrimp, more fish for that tank, anemones for this tank. So a lot of stuff coming up. I did want to touch a little bit on the LPS and SPS situation on this tank. We do have the rack set up, and I'll jump more into it once we actually do get some coral, but I want to grow out a few pieces of SPS and focus mainly on euphyllias for the LPS section. And once those grow out, I am planning on setting up a 4th tank, but we'll get into that. It's a whole different video and a whole different topic, but grow out some LPS to SPS in this tank and then eventually transition it into its own aquarium. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys like the new fish. We've got the black ice clownfish in here. If you guys have any name suggestions, then let me know. But we're also going to be getting some more fish for the 30 gallons. So let me know what you guys want to see in that tank. With all that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.